So, hello everyone. I'm back again for another live. This is Dr. Susie Jacob. I'm a general practitioner from the UK, and my page, and anyone who's watching me for the first time. So, welcome. So, today is a bit different from what I usually do kind of interview. It's a bit of, personal life, resilience, as well as a bit of the business talk today. And I have a special guest all the way from Spain today with me, and she's been very, very gracious and willing to talk about her personal challenges as well as a bit about the business. So, and I'd like to invite Natascha to the floor now. Hi, Natascha, how are you doing?
Hello. I'm good, thank you. Thank you for your invitation.
Oh, thank you for accepting the invitation, and thank you. As I was talking before the live, not everyone likes to talk about personal challenges and cancer and things like that, and you
Yeah,
were more than happy to do it. So thank you for
yeah,
that.
it's a touchy subject.
Yeah, but it's good for people to know.
Yeah, true.
One thing I wanted to, because I'm a doctor, I'd like to, kind of bring the awareness a bit and kind of make people feel like they're not always alone in this
Yeah,
journey.
true.
From my personal point of view, one of the things I do specialize is in, I'm one of the clinical leads for frailty, end of life, and all in the community. So, I do deal with a lot of people in their last phases of life, and it's always nice to see that when people
Yeah.
pull through and come, and it's a lot of challenges, not only
Mhm.
for the person, but for their families too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. So before I talk any further, I am leaving the floor open to you, Natascha. So if you'd like to introduce yourself to the audience, and and also kind of say, tell briefly about what motivated you to join the online business.
Mhm. Hello everybody. Thank you for watching. My name is Natascha. I am originally from the Netherlands. I've been living in Spain for 25 years now. I'm a mother of two teenagers. I have a 16-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old son. Married. Previous to me starting this business, I was a medical interpreter. So I helped people that come here on vacation, that have an accident or land up in the hospital. I did the translation between patient and doctor and did their insurance papers. But unfortunately, the company I was working for had economical problems and I got laid off. I was about 4 months before me starting this business. So yeah, that was a devastating situation because I have never been in a situation that I was out of work. So I had to start from scratch. I had to look for other jobs and nothing that really suited to my lifestyle. So yeah, and just one day searching well, not searching actually. I was just scrolling on my on my phone, and an ad popped up, and that led me here. That was 4.5 years ago now. So and here I am.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
So it was
amazing.
a good. It was actually a
4.5 years.
good thing, you know. It was actually a good thing that I lost my job because otherwise I wouldn't. I probably wouldn't be here.
So at the moment, are you just doing the business as full time, or?
No, I've been able to be a stay-at-home parent for the last 4 years. I just recently started working in June again full time because yeah, I just wanted to be back in the work force again. And now that the kids are grown up, they're teenagers, so they do their own thing. So I thought, yeah, why not? I just
Yeah.
start again, and it's good, you know. Not something I don't want to be working till I'm 65, of course, but it's good to have an extra income stream apart from the business. So
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you completely, because one of the things I get asked also is, you as a doctor, why are you doing? And
mm,
if the business is working so well, which it is,
yeah, true.
for
They say, why
I tell
why
people,
are you going back to work? I said, well, you just, it's it. but it was just for me a personal thing that I wanted to do, not just for the money side of it, but I just wanted to,
Absolutely.
yeah, I just wanted to go back to work, and the beauty of what I do, because I'm a 112 telephone operator, but I do it from my home. So I work night shifts. I do it from here, from my own office. So
So you work
that's
from
why I
home.
accepted it, because I wouldn't just start any kind of job that would come up. I was a bit picky.
You were very picky. Okay. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, even people ask me the same thing, but I say one thing I do is I work in clinical management as well as a hands-on clinician. So I do part of my work, like especially management. You're
Mm,
surprised. You can be surprised. I do it from home, and I do the hands-on bits. I go twice a week in to do that, and that's basically to more like socializing.
yeah,
Gets me out of the house, socialize, and also talk to patients. I love doing that, and I don't think I can ever stop doing that.
mm,
So that's why. So it doesn't matter. Actually, already this month I've earned more than what I earn, nearly double of what I earn as a general practitioner. But will I stop being a general practitioner? No, I don't think so.
yeah.
I,
At least not
I like
at least not
I
now.
like I like talking to patients. I
Yeah,
like serving, and yeah, I don't think I'll stop. Maybe
yeah.
I'll cut down. I've already cut down a bit. I was doing like Monday to Friday. Now I do only equivalent to 4 days a week. I've split it
Mm.
all up. So on Mondays and on Thursday I work only half days and then full days. So it's like, but equivalent to like,
It's good to keep busy, you know.
yeah,
It's good to keep
exactly.
busy.
But I have
And,
more time
and
for
we're
myself.
helping, and plus we're helping people, because in my job too, because I'm always in the, in the work, or in the helping people sector. So yeah,
Yeah,
it's hectic, but yeah, it's great to be able to help people from the other side of the line, even if they're in a
sure,
different country.
sure. Absolutely, absolutely. So, the other thing I wanted to, because I'm also a doctor, very curious about, because when I went to your page, I saw that you are a cancer survivor,
Mm,
and hats off, because I get involved with a lot of these emotions, dealing with patients, dealing with, patient relatives, and all towards the end of life and things like that. There's a lot, you see the best
yeah,
of people and the worst of people.
absolutely.
You see both. And to be a cancer survivor, to go through your challenges require a lot of resilience and strength. So are you able to share a bit about that? Because I feel, although this, we are talking about business, these are the sort of things that, because even if you're doing a business, anything like this can happen to anybody.
Yeah. Oh
You
my
can have
gosh.
an unwell child, an unwell
Yeah.
partner, and that's it,
Personal,
isn't
there's so many personal things that have happened in my online journey. I mean, it started with losing my job, and then this business found me. I always say that this business found me, not the other way around. So I was happy about that, because I could finally do something for myself, because I've always wanted to do something for myself, but I didn't want to be spending 15 hours away from home. So I never went through with an offline business. Let's just put it that way. So yeah, and then the pandemic hits. The pandemic hit. My husband the year after got sick, so he's retired now, but retired because of his incapacity for working. And then last year it was my turn, so it was the one year after the other. So
it?
what I've learned from all this, that nothing you just don't know what can happen to you in life. You just nothing is secure, not even in your job. And I didn't expect to get sick, because nobody in my family has cancer, so there's no history of cancer in my family. And when I heard it, well, it was, yeah, it was was a shock. But talking to my doctor, talking to my oncologist, and seeing the prognostics, so it just changed the way I was thinking. Of course, it was a devastating news, but I thought, Natasha, I mean, okay, you have it. You can either, sit down, cry every day, and feel pathetic, or you can just, you know, make the best of it and just move on. Yeah, you have to get through it anyway. And I'm not a negative person, so I always maintain positive. So I knew I was going to get through this, but you know, it's the whole thing. It was, yeah, it was last year. It was practically a whole year in and out hospitals, because it's practically every week that you need to go in between tests, chemo, radiotherapy, surgery, the whole lot. I started in February with the test, no, January actually, with the test, and I was finished just before Christmas. So it took me about a year. And yeah, if I would have been working, because I wasn't working back then. I mean, if I would have been working, it wouldn't have been possible, you know, with my job. I would either have to take sick leave or ask days off every week. And I think that would have been a chaos. So what what comforted me, it was my business, because it just, this business just keeps running, you know, it just keeps running for you. Once you're up and running, it kept giving me results. So it was something less to think about, so I can concentrate on myself.
Yeah.
So, and
So
it pushes you further, you know, because there's so many people that are, because of course I joined a group with women that have breast cancer, and the stuff they go through, and with their insurance, and that they can't pay for their treatment and things like that. I mean that must be devastating, you know, that, you
yeah.
know, I mean, you're already going through what you're going through, and then on top of that, the whole financial situation. I mean, that's
Yeah,
no,
yeah, it's really sad. I
yeah,
have to say, in that sense, there's lots of ups and downs with the NHS, but I'm really proud to be part of a system that's free at the point of need.
yeah,
And it's very quick here, and all cancer diagnosis is
yeah. Here
really
too
good,
in
and
Spain, I
treatment is
must
really
say.
good.
Mm. And I
And
worked in that hospital, but I never had to do with patients in oncology. So it was my first time in that area of the in that side of the hospital. So I found myself, before working there, I now was a patient,
yeah,
and it went all so well and quick,
yeah,
and the way they treat you is totally different than other parts of the hospital. So yeah, I'm
yeah,
very grateful for the medical team there that got me through this. I
yeah,
must say.
absolutely. So,
I was actually more worried about the side effects that I was going to have,
mm,
but I must say, I don't know if it was just me, because I think it also has to do with oneself, and how you, and I don't know how can I say it, because I didn't let cancer take over my life. You know,
life, yeah,
I had it, but it didn't have me.
yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I think you had a why, because you had
Yeah,
your husband, you had your
yeah.
children, so you
And
had
I have my kids.
something to live for.
Exactly. Yeah, I had to push myself through.
Yeah,
And I'm not old. I mean, I'm 49, and I still have lots of things to do. I still, you
yeah,
know, so no, I thought, no, it's not my time yet. I have to get
yeah,
through this.
absolutely. It's all about your mindset. And in
Yeah.
these sort of situations, when patients are really down, I also tell them it's one step at a time.
Yeah.
It's
And
one day at a time.
what's the point of, and yeah, it is hard, but it won't help you by staying miserable. I mean, make the best of it anyway, and yeah, there are a lot of factors. And yes, I lost my hair too, and all that. And yes, those moments were hard, but you just have to move on. You just have to move on and not let it
Absolutely.
take
Mindset is
take
key.
over you. Mm.
So even when we talk about the journey, our entrepreneurial journey, and some people are bogged down by they start facing challenges from the onset, hurdles and challenges,
Mm.
and that puts them off even starting.
Yeah.
So are there certain particular strategies or mindset that you could advise, so that people can achieve that success?
The only thing I always do, because everybody has their moments. I mean, you just have to remember why. Because people that have already watched our webinar or are following us, there is a reason why you are here in the first place. So always remember why are you interested, or why were you interested, and what did you, what made you look into watching the webinar? Because I always remember why I started in the first place, and that's what's always kept me going. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
and you have
It's
to be a bit
all
open-minded. You have to be open-minded. There's more there's more to there than just your regular job. And if you're not satisfied with your job, I mean, you love your job, but there are a lot of people that don't like their job. So why
yeah,
would you stay
yeah,
put and put up with it until you? I mean, there's a lot of years that we have to work until we can retire. I mean, up to
yeah,
65, 67. It's a long
yeah,
it's
yeah.
a long time
That's
to put up with
exactly
something
the
that you don't like.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's exactly the reason why I jumped in, because with COVID, it really affected me mentally.
Mm,
There was a day when, I had to do 5 debt certificates, and it was just, I was working just a half day and I had to do 5 debt certificates, and 3 of them were coroners. I had to, discuss with the coroner. I think in my whole life, been practicing medicine now for nearly coming up to 20 years. And I've never had to do, 5 death certificates. Even when I was working in the hospital, you get the odd one or two. Yes, a lot of people die, but you don't do death certificates for everyone, isn't it? This is
mm,
one particular day, 4 to 5 hours I was working that day, and I had to do 5 death certificates. And probably people won't understand and relate. I
mm,
don't expect people to understand and relate to what I was going through. And that too, because I'm a general practitioner, I knew these people. I've
mm,
gone and visited them in their homes. And, that feeling that it leaves
yeah.
you with, you can't, I can't describe it. It was like I came home and I was just crying, and my husband was really worried about my
Create a
mental
bond
health.
with those people. I mean,
Yeah, my husband was worried about my mental health.
yeah.
At that point I was in in lowest low, and at that time my husband didn't have a job, because in the
Mm,
pandemic he lost his job,
yeah.
and I was the only breadwinner, and I had no other choice, and all I wanted was some time out, and
Yeah.
I had no option,
Mm,
because if I had
that's
taken
it.
time
That's
out,
the whole point. Yes.
this who would pay the mortgage bills and
Yeah.
everything. So
Exactly.
I
Exactly.
had to continue, and I'm now in a situation where I can say, if anything like that happens, time out.
Yeah. Yeah. But
Time.
that's the whole point. It's like me going back to work now, but it's the choice that I could make. It's not that I had to go back to work. It's a choice that I wanted to to make for myself. So I chose to go back to work. It's not that I have to. So there's a difference. It's like you, I want a day off. Then I didn't have a day off.
Yeah,
Because you know that you have something that will back you up. Mm,
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And I was like, I don't want to live through that again.
yeah,
you know, and God forbid if there's another pandemic, and if something like that
oh
happens
gosh,
again, I was
yeah.
like,
And you
if
see,
I want a
you
time out,
just
then
don't
I
know.
want time out then.
Yeah,
So that's it. And that's what this business has given me at this time and moment. I can
exactly.
choose to work, and I call the shots.
Yeah,
And that's an amazing, amazing
and a
feeling.
peace of mind that, oh my gosh, that is so much. Getting a
Absolutely.
peace of mind, that is so much. Mm,
You just need to have a big why, and I really had a big why, and I couldn't think of going through another epidemic, pandemic, or anything like that, where I had to suffer, my mental health had to suffer,
exactly.
just because I needed to pay my bills. And I
Yeah,
don't think anyone should.
exactly. No, true.
i
And
don't i
people
don't
don't
think
think people don't think I didn't think of that either because I thought I was one of those people. Okay, I have a job, I'm comfortable, and I can pay my bills, and that was fine for me.
Yeah,
I just didn't expect I was going to lose my job, and I loved my job because although it was hard too because I did have cases too that I had to notify that. I mean, imagine going on vacation and you passed away and you have to notify the families, and it was a gratifying job, but there was hard moments too.
that is
So
really, really hard.
it is
That
hard,
is
and
extremely hard. I can just
mm,
imagine that, because I
yeah,
do palliative care. So
yeah,
even getting people, giving them, telling them that perhaps they have weeks or months to live
exactly.
is hard.
Yeah,
So I
there's a
can't
lot, and there's
imagine
a
when
lot
they just go on
to,
holiday and
and
die.
there's a lot you have to, a lot of things you have to arrange. Yeah, they're in a foreign country. They might still have a few days in their hotel. You have to provide for the family, put them in a hotel, then repatriation, to be able to go back home and things like that. And people just don't think about that when it's always important to have a good travel insurance, people, when you go on vacation. Make sure you get the travel vacation,
Absolutely,
because oh my
absolutely.
gosh,
Yeah,
so many people that travel without
yeah,
insurance. I mean,
insurance. I
oh
know,
my
I
god.
know. When my parents flew in and all, I was like, "You are taking an insurance."
What will happen? You just don't know.
No, no, you just, I've seen a lot of people who've done that, and in a complete mess. No, never do that. Always take a good travel insurance to
Exactly.
back you up when you go on a holiday. So before we conclude, is there any last words for our audience, especially in today was more, the theme was people going through personal challenges, health problems and things. Any last words you would like to speak to our audience who might be particularly having those kind of challenges?
Well, what can I say? I mean, I've gone through through so many. Oh my gosh, even before starting this business and during this business, and still, I mean, life gets in the way. I mean, and life continues, and those are things that just happen to us, and but you can't just stay stuck in, you know, stuck worrying in that situation. You have to look for solutions. You have to move on, because nobody's going to do it for you. And I mean, this is a great opportunity for people, that are looking for a backup plan. Just secure yourself. You just don't know what will happen in life. I mean, I'm a great example. I mean, I wish I could say now that, gosh, I wish I could have started. I wish I would have had this when before I lost my job, but I didn't know this existed back then. So if you're working and you're looking for a backup plan, then this is it. Don't wait till you lose your job, or don't, it's better to do that now and secure yourself and build a great foundation for yourself. I mean, this is a great opportunity that, and plus it works for you even when you don't. So even if you want the day off, well, you can take the day off and business just keeps running. I mean, what's better
Yeah.
than that? Mm,
Yeah, and you have control over your business. It's not like a
exactly.
shop. So, if you feel like last year, I think you must have, even though the business was running, obviously it wasn't full on, because
Exactly.
you have a control over the business, because you had
Yeah.
hospitals and those sort of
Yeah.
things. And yet, what amazed me is you're saying, in spite of all that, you
Yeah.
had results. In our team, we see always people having babies, and their checks coming
Yeah.
in.
Yeah. I
And
mean,
that's the
what's better
amazing
than
thing,
that?
isn't it?
What's better than that? I mean, it would have been possible for me to just take a year off if I would have been working. I wouldn't have got paid if I just took time off. No, it was out of the question. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm,
And at the end of the day, there's nothing to lose. Like, there's nothing that,
exactly.
to lose, to just get the information, to watch our
Absolutely.
webinar. And once you watch it, you're giving yourself an opportunity to know
Mhm.
whether this is for you or not.
Exactly.
That, I think, what the takeaway here is to, find
Mhm.
something that will give you passive income, whether it's an online business, whether you do property, whether you do stocks or crypto, whatever you choose to do. The most important thing is have that backup plan. Now, we
Exactly.
are two individuals who have success in this business, able to earn more than our regular jobs. And if that is something that interests you, then get in contact with either one of us, and we would be more than happy to tell you, guide you through the next steps, and that will lead to financial freedom. So,
Yeah. Financial and time freedom.
yes, absolutely, absolutely. Natasha, it's been lovely to have you today. Thank you so much for coming in, and
Thank
thank you so much
you.
for, being that vulnerable and sharing your personal experience. It is not easy.
No, it
People
isn't.
don't
And it
realize that
still
it's
isn't
not
easy,
easy.
because people see me and people say, "Oh my gosh, you look fine." But it's the after also. It's not that, okay, I'm cured now, and know this, before your body is back into its old state than it was before. It takes time.
Yeah.
It's not as easy as people seem when they look at me. It's like, oh,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you can't judge a book by its cover, because we don't
no, no,
know
no,
what is there
no,
in people's lives,
no.
isn't it? Personal
So
lives. Anyway, it was lovely to have you. So
thank
again,
you,
thank you once again, and get in touch. That is the most important things, guys. Get in touch with us. Until next time, be safe and take care. Bye for now.
thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.